Don't say that
shit.
shit. Also, no swearing. We get demonetized.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, no swearing for the first 30 seconds.
For the whole thing, preferably.
For the whole thing. So that would be easy for me. I don't
the
know
less
about
swearing
the
you
rest of y'all.
do, the more views you get. I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
But hello everybody, don't mind that. Welcome back to the AdviColor podcast. We do a bunch of crazy stuff here. Not really, but we pretend to. I need to rewrite the whole script because it's a whole freaking lie. Like we offer wisdom. What are you freaking talking about? No, we don't.
I don't know what wisdom you were providing. Probably bad ideas, but anyway.
I'd say it's our personal experience, and then we make a lot of jokes and stuff. So it's kind of a fun little conversation. I guess the appeal would be more entertainment than knowledge. I mean, we do say some things that are smart every once in a while, but I wouldn't like don't quote me on that. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
you know,
like a broken clock, right?
don't try this at home. We're professionals, okay? But But yeah, welcome back. I'm Joe. I'm not the only one on the show, but we also have some new people. Do we have new people here? No, we don't have any new people. I just like saying that. You guys are kind of new. I think who's
relatively new.
Conan, is this your first? This isn't your first time on the podcast, is it? You've been on the gaming one before.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So Kiwi, if you want to introduce Conan again for like the actual audience, I guess it's probably the same audience for gaming.
From Texas. My mind is going blank.
Okay, yeah, resident Texadian, professional.
This
is not a good look for me since I'm.
Conan's actually a professional assault rifle instructor. You know, does a lot of cool stuff with guns and ammunition, and so it's a good experience to have them on the show. You know, it's interesting. You know, if you have any questions about guns, don't forget to ask. You know, it'd be interesting. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I think today's topic, we wanted to talk about games and MMOs and different genres and such.
We wanted to talk about how to make a nuke.
No. That's for next week.
That's next week. Okay.
Tune in next week for that one. But today we're going to be, I guess, gaming. So, Kiwi, did you have anything you wanted to start out with that?
First of all, can we just, before I say anything, can we acknowledge the fucking year of 2008, where every MMO became the WoW killer?
I mean, to be fair, WoW isn't doing that great now. So I mean, well, they're that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think it was less about the fact that every MMO is doing great, and more about the fact that WoW was at that point in time. Because WoW has been dropping the ball a lot, to be honest. I mean, as someone who's played the free trial of both WoW and Final Fantasy, I can just say I've had a lot more fun with Final Fantasy. Because there's just so much more to do for Final Fantasy's free trial. Because WoW's free trial, if you didn't know, is only 20 levels, and they have a maximum level of, I believe it's 90. I may be wrong on that, but the maximum level is like 90. Meanwhile, with Final Fantasy, the max level is play up level 60 for free, and you still get the first, and you get the entire base game plus the first expansion, which is at least a solid 200 hours. Of just main story gameplay. That's excluding side quests, grinding for any specific armor sets or drops that you want, and all of that stuff. So personal experience wise, I think Final Fantasy is a much better personal experience. But overall, I do think that MMOs are very much a social game. If you really want to just go at it alone, they're not really for you, but there are certain aspects that you can have fun with in there. If you're someone like me who likes to grind out every single, support class in the game, I guess you could find fun in that.
I have a question.
What do you say?
Can we explain what MMORPGs are for the people like myself who are a bit stupid?
You're not stupid.
So
Fuck you.
the full MMORPG word stands for massively multiplayer online role playing. Sort of two separate genres. The MMO, which is a massive multiplayer online game, which can be any game really that has online features, such as even Call of Duty is technically an MMO because a lot of people playing the game at once online.
But most of the time, whenever we talk about MMOs, we're talking about MMORPGs. So
yeah, most of the time, it's just MMO on its own. Can apply to a lot of games. And RPG obviously applies to games where you
Can you give
either
us
create or
so most people don't know by genre. Could you give us like an example of a specific game and say this is what you're talking about?
An example of a role-playing game? Kingdom Hearts would be a very well-known one.
Okay.
The entire Final Fantasy series, because there's like 15 games in it now. Skyrim would also be considered, which very famous one.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent, God of War would actually be a role-playing game as well, to an extent.
But most of them are
more
like
of a historical one, like a mythology or a historical RPG, no?
Not necessarily. I mean, by that logic, you could say is a historical one, but that's going for a stretch even then.
Yeah.
Because like we all know that's not the truth of the case, but like it's sort of what you're believing in the moment, and that's what it is. You're playing that role. You're playing the role of that character. That's what an RPG is. When you take over a character and you're playing that character in a game.
Interesting.
And you have significance.
So it's kind of like acting in a way, if you think about it.
It is. In a lot of the games, you actually have personal choice, and your personal choices do affect the world around you. In games, in certain games, it doesn't really matter, and whatever you do, the outcome's always predetermined. Like in games like God of War or games like Devil May Cry. In other games, like
what? No, so Dishonored counts as an RPG. Also doesn't it?
Yeah, I was about to mention Dishonored. Games like Dishonored or games like Massive, depending on your personal choices, the outcome at the end of the game, or even the circumstances in each level can. In Dishonored, the more people you kill, the harder the following levels actually become. Whereas if you kill as few people as possible, the following levels actually remain much easier. So it's sort of a morality system, but also a difficulty system.
Gotcha.
So that's typically what an RPG game would be. And so with MMORPGs, a lot of the time, you do have a lot of things you can do alone, like leveling, for example, crafting classes like I do, fishing, mining, swordsmithing, that kind of thing. But then there's also a lot of multiplayer things you have no choice in doing solo, like raiding dungeons, because you require like 5 or 6 people to raid a dungeon. Perhaps you can't do those solo because unless you're way over level, that's impossible.
Okay.
As a person that actively plays solo in MMOs, I can say with certainty, fucking hell.
Yeah, trying to solo a dungeon is kind of impossible because of the way an MMO is designed around social games as well.
100%.
In the sense that each person has to play a role. A typical layout would be a tank, someone who has a lot of health, can take a lot of damage, but doesn't particularly deal the greatest amount of damage. Their goal is just to protect the other party members. And then a healer to make sure everyone lives.
Oh, so we're kind of like talking about like Overwatch kind of gameplay.
No.
Well, I mean, in Overwatch, you have like a tank, a healer, a regular class.
It's the same thought process in the sense that you have a tank, a healer, and then damage dealers. But in this case, it's much more systematic because you're playing against NPC. You're basically playing against AI, so actions are predetermined, and so when you go into encounters, you're kind of unless it's your first time, you're expected to know what's going on. So, for example, if I was a tank and I started an encounter and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, depending on the community, you will either get the you should be doing this from the people around you, or you'll get basically chewed out.
So they'll let you know what you need to be doing if you're not doing it right, basically.
Yeah.
They'll put you in the right direction.
That, or they will lose their minds and chew you out like it's insane. There are some particularly toxic people in those communities, so sometimes you do just have to have thick skin and just mute them. That's why the mute function is the greatest function ever created in this world.
The block function.
It would be great.
Vital to any organization.
Vital to any organization, honestly. The ability to mute
I'm gonna block
someone,
the CEO real quick.
Yeah, it's like
I'm gonna block my boss. Who won't stop texting me? Mute.
That'll teach him.
You know what we should do? We should.
That'll teach your boss to communicate with you while you're on holiday.
We should invent earbuds that you put in, and you can specifically tune out, like mute people in real life.
It selects
sound
a
canceling.
person.
I think you're just talking about noise cancelling headphones at that point.
But not just everybody.
Some people. You want to be able to hear a few people.
Yeah, of course.
But like mute everyone else. People that you don't like, mute them. But,
dude,
wow,
let's invent it right now.
Sold out so quickly, yeah.
Invention.
It's like tunes things out for you. That would take some technology. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I think some people
It'd be banned from schools.
Everyone tunes out the teacher. Heck, no, maybe schools would make it mandatory so you could only hear the teacher though. But students would be hacking that shit.
I'll be honest. Do you know what is like the most saddest part about school for me? Every time I moved up a grade school, all the things I wanted to happen would happen. When I was in primary school, everyone up until 5th grade used to get swimming lessons. And so once a week, you would spend 2 class periods at the swimming pools. And it was so great, right? And then when I moved to 5th grade, you could no longer do that. It was only for 4th graders and under.
They just didn't like you, so they you personally they changed it.
The excuse was you need to focus more on your studies, right?
Bro.
When I moved to 6th grade, 5th graders were allowed then to go to swimming. When I moved to 7th grade, 6th graders were then allowed to go swimming. When I left 7th grade, they started getting new computers in the school.
Right?
I was like, how? Why? No.
You were born in the wrong generation. Sorry, bud.
No, wrong here. Just wrong here. And then in high school, a similar thing happened where like we were using textbooks for like the longest time. And then as we left high school, the education department was like, hey, should we maybe start giving out like cheap info tablets to the
hand out Kindles?
To the students. And I was like, gosh dang it,
bro.
Why couldn't it be me? Why couldn't it be me?
So I remember my last year at my high school, we switched to online. Like everything had to go online because that was the year of the corona. And honestly, it was better than actually going to school because you didn't have to interact with it. It was just put your homework in and be done with it, And
for me personally, I saw school less of a place to learn actual knowledge and more how do you say social graces.
Yeah, it's more of you learn more about how to deal with disrespect than you learn from the curriculum, to be honest, because you have to deal with people to get through everything
within society.
And a lot of your grade depends on how the teacher's feeling or how you treat them.
Look, I don't think it's to that point, but I do think that that going to school taught me a lot about like how to deal with people.
Well, it's like the leniency. Like if your response is technically correct, but it's not the answer they're looking for, a teacher who hates you will mark it wrong. A teacher who likes you will give you half credit, and a teacher who's on your side will give you the point anyway.
Yeah. To be quite fair, to be quite fair also, I in a way had a lot of leniency on high school, and it wasn't even for kissing up. It was more just that I wasn't a nuisance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't a nuisance, and so I was liked. And there was one situation where I was really happy for. I at a certain point got a motorcycle, and I used to ride my motorcycle to school.
Bro, and that's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Imagine someone just going on a motorcycle.
Honestly, I should get a motorcycle and go.
You should get like a Harley Davidson. You're just like going down the road. Everybody hears you drive up.
At school.
It is honestly the best thing to get if you're on school, because it is the lightest thing on petrol, especially if you only have a short distance to go.
Right.
If you're like traveling far, I would suggest getting a car, because the wind is not for everybody.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's person to person. But the gear shifter was digging into my school shoes. So I was like, okay, I need to, and also it was like not hurting really, but straining my toes because I had to shift with, right? And so I got boots with a steel toe tip, those worker boots.
Yeah.
I
have a few pair.
Yeah, and I walked into school, right? And I think on the first day already, 2 of the teachers called me out and they were like, hey, aren't those steel tipped? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, can't you hurt someone with those? And I was like, yeah.
More myself. Like, have you ever tried to kick something with steel toe?
No, those hurt. Like if you kick something actually hard with it, you will hurt yourself.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go to the point like you got like dress coded for not having the right shoes or something. I thought that's where we were going with this.
I was about to be dress coded for it because it was black. Look, it was all black shoes. School really required.
Because our high school did the same thing. We were supposed to wear like a specific type of shoes, but I would always wear sneakers anyway.
No. We don't have to do that anymore. We can wear whatever we want.
And then they took that rule away after I graduated. They just hated me. They're like, this is stupid.
I was about to be dress coded for the fact that I had steel toe tip boots. Less about the fact that it didn't match school code, because it was all black shoes, which was really
okay.
Boys. The girls are the only ones who had like actual stipulations about their shoes, which was kind of weird. But and all the boys had to have was like just black shoes.
Gotcha.
Right? And
combat boots. Just show up.
Yeah, I had combat boots basically. And they were like, that's gonna be a problem. And then one of the teachers still like stood on my shoe and I was like, are you feeling that? And like, see, you can hurt somebody. And I was like, I can. Do you think I will? And after that, they were just like, yeah, just leave him. Like let's be honest, he's not gonna hurt anyone. Like he can, he probably just won't.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I always never understood like the point of that. I was like, what? I guess the idea is to keep you from having the ability to hurt someone else, which makes a lot more sense than just being like an arbitrary rule.
I'm just saying, my fists are more of a weapon than
they're like, my fists work just fine. I don't need the boots, my man.
Wait,
yeah. And then they also, yeah.
I'm gonna probably switch topics, but have you played Neverwinter before?
Oh, Neverwinter's pretty good.
Neverwinter, I've played. I can say I've played it for a bit. Only issue I ran into was that my PC couldn't run it fairly well, so I actually just left it at.
But what is Neverwinter for those who don't know?
It's like a D&D-ish game.
It's D&D MMORPG.
Basically, yeah, it's that. Imagine if you ever played WoW, it has the same mechanics, but it's based off the Dungeons and Dragons IP. And a part of me makes, I don't know why, but I love the combat in that game, but I don't like WoW's combat. I don't know why. It's they're the same thing. Their combat is the exact same thing.
Person you are. Personally, I like personally, I don't even particularly like Final Fantasy IV because it's similar to WoW's in the sense that you activate the skill and you just move around. It's not active combat. It's not hyperactive combat like with Final Fantasy 15, which is the kind of combat system I prefer. So yeah, I prefer combat systems like Final Fantasy 15 and Devil May Cry. But I find fun in the Final Fantasy 14 sort of social aspect and the story a bit actually. Though I haven't played in a while, so yeah.
Oh god.
I pick up games and drop them not often, but fairly. If I get bored of it to a certain point.
No, I'm getting okay. So for those who do not know, I stream and I've been streaming. With
Here you're
sorry,
cutting
sneeze.
You're cutting out. Oh.
Bee sneeze.
No, I just stopped talking because I sneeze.
Okay.
Yeah. So long story short, I play MMOs. Thank you. I play MMOs and I stream them sometimes. Recently I haven't been streaming, but that's a different topic. And basically, I say the most I don't take my pills on the days I stream. A mixture of I don't want to take my pills, and I say the dumbest shit. My ADHD pills specifically.
I understand how you wouldn't want to. I know the feeling.
I've just never taken them.
It's just, and I say the dumbest and most fucked up shit. Like last stream.
So this is raw kiwi.
I did this
Unfiltered.
entire bit. No, yes, I should be filtered to be honest. But I did this entire bit where I was basically taking the role of a guy, basically a colonizer, but acting like a fucking retard. I'm sorry, but that's the only way I can. Like a complete moron. I'm sorry, but like a complete moron. I am not.
I didn't even notice.
I would run into combat with about 30 to 40 enemies at once and run away.
Berserker.
Just run away like a bitch.
Man's just like, wild like that.
Talk the most stupid and maddest game I can, and then just have my ass served to me.
Get out of there. You like the bait. You lure him in, and then the whole team takes him over.
Yeah.
It's kind of smart.
And it was funny as shit. But I said some fucked up shit. I'm not proud.
That explains
I'm not proud. But like content's content.
You were streaming? You didn't get banned? It couldn't have been that bad. Wait, was it Twitch or YouTube?
Pretty sure YouTube.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. You'd be off Twitch. Oh, that's why you don't take your meds. It's because we're on Twitch.
No, I don't take my meds.
Why not take them? So.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't take his meds either.
Yeah, you don't take my meds. You're fucking too far.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, I don't care about you, though.
To be honest, I look cool without any people.
Word. Yeah.
Or Iris.
Wait.
It's not done yet, bro.
Like, perhaps have you ever played an MMORPG, Joe?
I've played Neverwinter. I've played a little bit of the Skyrim online.
Oh, okay.
Played the Pokemon one.
Wait.
I think it's Pokemon Unite is what it's called, but it's an.
No. That's a MOBA. That's different.
Yeah.
That's a MOBA.
What's the difference?
So for those who don't know, a MOBA stands for Massive Online Battle Arena.
Oh, okay.
So those types of games would be Pokemon Unite, Dota 2. They're typically games where it's two teams versus each other. Well, not always, but typically where two teams fight against each other on a map, and the goal of each team, depending on the game, changes. In Pokemon Unite, it's to score goals by throwing a basketball through hoops. So that's what it looks like, to be honest. And in League of Legends, it's to destroy the enemy's base. And there's many rules in it, depending on between each game. So you can never really get through it all in just one quick session. But basically, it's a conquer the map style kind of game.
Oh, I see.
So that's what MOBAs are. So yeah, those are, to be honest, MOBAs are the most toxic communities I've ever. MOBAs are the most toxic communities I've ever met.
Yeah, well, League of Legends,
the competitive scene specifically, If you are just a normal person and you play with everyone muted, you will probably never encounter it. But if you're someone who ever plays in a ranked game in any 3 of those games, chances are at one point you will be called any of the racial slurs.
It's not at any. No, that's just a factual statement.
So that's why no one streams it on Twitch.
Very true.
So, you guys, guess what I'm trying to get my girlfriend to play with me?
League of Legends?
Of course.
It's working.
What are you trying to get it to play, Kiwi? I step out for a second.
Wow.
I'm trying to get Conan to play League of Legends with me.
Tell me when someone's going to tell you to go make a sandwich.
That is a curse upon you. Why would you do such a thing?
You tried to get us to play it too.
Why would you actively lower someone's value in the world?
I mean, once you've hit rock bottom, you can't really get any lower.
Well,
So
look.
No. You see rock bottom. You can hit rock bottom without playing League of Legends. Playing League of Legends actively puts you through the ground. You see.
I have a question, guys.
Broke my metaphor. Wow.
What do you think of the drawing so far?
Of what?
Of the drawing.
Oh, check out the live, bro.
Pretty cool.
That looks good.
Okay, why did you go so in depth into the eyeball and then just like cover it up?
You want me to do
I'll be honest, I don't know much about art.
No, the other eyeball, the other one, the one that's in the background.
Yeah, hold on. The layers.
That's not done yet.
This?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know much about art. However, my cousin requested for her birthday in February. She requested gouache paint, so I guess I'm buying that.
Gouache paint, huh? What is that?
Yeah, it's a kind of paint that not especially expensive, but rather expensive compared to like just normal. It's
like a nicer brand.
What's the paint? Is it
gouache?
Is it gouache or
gouache? I think it's gouache.
Gouache. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Gouache. Gouache paint. Yeah. So she requested gouache paint, so I'm buying that for her birthday. A set of 18 colors.
What brand are you getting?
Depending on which one just has availability, but it's either Faber-Castell.
Faber-Castell. Getting real fake and fancy.
I have color pencils from Faber-Castell, and they were really good. I use the Amazon's one now, though. They're less expensive.
And you got that 2-day shipping. Not sponsored by Amazon.
Sorry, I had to respond to something. What did you say?
I said that Faber-Castell is a really good brand for artistic stuff, but it's really expensive too.
Yeah, like, the other one I was looking at is Monty Mart.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I think it's more of a local thing, but yeah. So the one I was looking at is a 18 color 18 colors. And it's 12 mils per tube. And it's titanium white, lemon yellow, yellow ochre, vermilion, crimson, purple, lamp black, burnt sienna, a couple other colors as well.
Fancy.
Yeah. So yeah, that, or again, I might get the Faber-Castell, whichever one I just get. But at the same time, I'm also currently trying to get my, because I want to learn. I want to better my writing. So
Mm.
I'm kind of also trying to teach myself calligraphy.
Oh, you mean your writing style, not writing in general?
No. Writing in general, both
Oh,
both
okay.
in both in style and in what I use.
Okay, so just reading books.
Both
is the best
literally
thing
and
you can do.
mentally. Okay.
Yes.
What kind of books are
for
you
example,
reading?
So currently I'm not reading anything specific. I mean, I have a few books at home. Well, few is an understatement. I have a lot of books at home. But so currently I'm reading some of the Hardy Boys. I
Oh
do
shit,
also
that's
have,
a good series. Detective.
Yeah, I also have 2 of the 3 Divine Comedy books, which I do want to get through
So
eventually.
good.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, don't worry. I
I don't think
know.
I've read those.
Oh, that's a long ass book. Although I don't
Long and
doubt you,
late.
it
Who's
is
it by again?
long. Dante.
Dante. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I
Yeah,
do
it's
know what
like
you're talking
Dante's
about.
Inferno. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Dante. It's
That's
the
a
Divine
classic.
Comedy of Dante. Yeah,
That's
I've
it's
a
read
really old
excerpts,
book.
but I've
classic.
never read the
That's
whole
like a 600
like back to
year
back.
old book.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
I've read
besides
the
that-
Epic of Gilgamesh. Had to go to the Library of Congress.
Yeah. So in terms of that, I'm reading things. But in terms of my actual writing style, I am looking into getting myself a fountain pen.
Ooh, you ever worked on your signature to like make it real fancy?
It's kind of for my signature, but also for, you see, with a fountain pen, you can't just write. You actually have to actively think about how you're writing. And so, although I might be wrong in my thinking, I do believe that if I have to put more thought into my writing, maybe my general writing will. Because currently my writing, although legible, it isn't very professional.
Neither is mine. My hand doesn't like writing for long periods of time, and like to get it looking nice, I have to go really slow, which takes longer. So it's like I just type everything. I don't have time for that, you know. Like carpal
Me
tunnel.
too. I used to hate having to type, like, write anything, to the point where I would ask in every single one of my classes, can I type this out? Can I type this out? Can I type this out? Because it is far easier to just type everything out.
It's especially easier whenever you misspell something.
Yeah. And if you become proficient in typing, you can really knock things quickly.
Look at this. This absolute flex.
Want to hear something funny about that? But I switch. Okay, so I have an English US style keyboard, the ASDF keyboard, and I have
QWERTY keyboard, yes.
Yeah, QWERTY, and then I have to switch to a French style keyboard. I went out of school.
Because you're Canadian.
Yes, honestly though.
Fuck you. They're not.
The French are the best. The French are the best.
Can you not type French on a regular keyboard?
The only thing they're good at is smoking and baguettes.
No. Let's give them some credit.
Wine.
They're also good at conquering.
Well, self-mutilation, technically.
Huh?
No, conquering. Let's face it. If it wasn't for the British, the French would have conquered it.
I always thought they were good at like revolutions and stuff.
No. They do you know that the French at one point had almost, okay, not almost.
They're really good at making guillotines.
Yeah.
So their carpentry is at least top tier.
It's really sad.
Yeah, you okay? Now I can't make that comment. Let's keep that to myself.
Yeah, you could really lose your head going there, you know.
Hey, you might want.
When you look at like the revolutions from France, they're like super intense. You know, like they're violent. And then when you look at like the revolution from like Canada, it's all like calm revolution. You know.
Yo, we legitimately just asked, yo, Queen, can we be our own thing?
Yeah, and it's basically said yes.
So,
it's because they saw what happened to America and didn't want to waste their time.
You mean France? They literally looked over the fucking canal and just saw France. Just yeah, nah, we ain't deal.
We're good. You can keep your stinky city. We don't want it.
Yeah.
I should have done that in a British accent.
I mean, sound pretty British, so I mean,
You sound German.
perfectly fine.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Does it look better with or without the background?
Well, the background's not complete. Are you going to add color to it, or are you going to leave it like an
With
outline?
the background.
With the background?
I think the purple looks really good.
It's
With
not
the
purple, it's blue.
Are you serious?
Yes.
My eyes
if
deceiving me? It's coming through
yeah.
as purple on my
That's blue.
screen.
But that's
I'm looking through free games on Steam, and I just saw
blue.
Sexy Space Airline.
It's because the light is purple. That's why it looks purple. But otherwise,
That's
the
funny.
background is blue.
Okay. That's straight up purple in my eyes just see it differently.
Well, this is
Should I do it?
purple.
Maybe I should do it.
But like I said, if you get rid of all of this, it's blue. It shows on the
That's a
color.
dark blue. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Are you sure you don't maybe have like some sort of color alteration on your monitor? Because I had to disable mine to get the right colors. Because I typically have f.lux running in the background.
I just have it default. I don't have like a fancy color corrected screen or anything. It's just all default.
Neither do I. I have f.lux because f.lux reduces the amount of blue light. So your eyes can like.
What kind of computer do you have? Windows, right?
No, you can install it. You can install it on any computer though.
It's built in to Windows though.
No, it's not. It's a downloadable application.
I know, but the feature that Flux has, it's built into Windows. Like if you, it's called Nightlight, and you can change the.
The new Windows has it built in. The new Windows built in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still running the older one?
That. No. I just forgot it. I just forgot they added it to the new Windows.
But to be honest, Flux has a lot more customization. That's kind of the appeal. That's why people get it. Have you noticed there's this kind of trend of okay, someone will develop an app like Flux for an operating system because the operating system kind of sucks without it, and then like a couple months later it'll be built into the operating system as like their own feature. Have you noticed that? Like that happens a lot. Like they just straight up steal the idea and
I
rename
really
it.
stealing the idea.
They copy the homework, change it up a little bit, and submit it. But it does make the actual OS better, so there is some good that comes of it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, that's how most of the best Windows features came about. Is they were made by other people.
Yeah, there was actually a time when I was like looking at like things made by other people that people later then just like improved upon, and I was like, I understand that Oreo isn't the original version of the cookie, but quite honestly,
it's better.
I understand why Oreo survived compared to their competitor, Hydrox.
I'll be honest. What's going on?
Hydrox.
I toned down.
Talking about Oreos, my guy.
Yeah.
How Oreos were the off-brand cookie, but they won against the original because they were just better.
Because they had better branding and they made a few more better business decisions. That's all they really did.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Okay,
you go first.
Based on Aladdin stipulations, if you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for?
The stipulations being you can't wish for more wishes?
You can't wish for more wishes. You can't wish to kill people. You can't wish to bring people back from the dead. You can't wish for someone to fall in love. What would you? Yeah. What would you?
Wow.
What would you wish?
What
for?
did I wish for?
Yeah.
I know. Look. I don't mean this in the sense perfect. I mean it in the same. When I say the perfect body, I don't mean the perfect body in perfectly shaped, perfectly sculpted. I mean it in the never
Like-
get sick, never get sick,
Like
never have
practically
any
perfect.
problems. Say again?
Like instead of aesthetically perfect, you're thinking like practically perfect, like in a practical
practically
way.
perfect.
I
I'll never have problems with my body will never have any, unless otherwise caused by me.
So
Like
immortality.
getting hit. Yeah, like not immortality.
Your cell division wouldn't make you age.
Mitosis.
Stuff like that.
No, not immortality, please. I do not wish to live beyond like that long. Like I do not wish to the human nature in its entirety. Thank you very much.
I'm not saying immortality, but like you could die if an external force killed
Built-in
you.
vaccines is what he's saying.
Yeah. But basically, just a perfectly healthy body in the sense that I will never get sick, never have like diabetes or arthritis or a bad back. Those things, just not those things.
That's a good thing to wish for.
Like I feel like that's like the most inconvenient things to just get in later on in life, because you just didn't do one thing early in life. Like maybe you fell hard in your back, and like when you're 60, you like have like a disc in your back that's like changed, and now you forever are walking like a, and it's like just like the greatest inconvenience.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I want the ability to control probability.
I was gonna say the same freaking thing.
Or not,
I mean, the thing is, you can control probability, but like you're gonna have to fully understand every probability to also control it properly.
Well, then your second wish will be to fully understand it.
No, not exactly.
I wish I had infinite wisdom.
Oh God. Do you know what I do think would be a bad idea? Like genuinely, infinite wisdom, I think, would sort of curse you in the sense that you would infinitely understand everything, and it would actually be to a certain detriment, because everybody's not everybody always has sort of
That's bullcrap. You just understand. You're just Megamind basically, Elon Musk, but better.
Is infinite wisdom like you're up there with Solomon or above?
Right. But even Solomon wasn't very good.
He wasn't very wise when it came to women. I'm just saying.
Wait. Infinite wisdom or infinite understanding?
Infinite
that's different.
Wisdom. Wisdom.
Are two different things.
Like basically the practical version of like applying your understanding, kind of.
Right.
Yeah. Wisdom is applying your understanding, but to apply your understanding, you have to have understanding.
I was gonna say probability for me, like the power to manipulate probability, right? But the thing is, technically, if you're going with the rules of the wishes, some things that you could manipulate would be off limits, right? So my question is, would that extend or no?
No, it is plain as day. You manipulate probability.
Would it?
It doesn't directly break any of the rules, so you're fine.
Until you use it, though. If you use it, though, then it would. So does it extend to that or no?
The genie isn't doing the act. You are. The genie is not gonna make someone fall in love with you.
He could give you unlimited power. Because that's basically what it is.
I mean, look how Jafar made it out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's kind of smart.
Jafar was a dick. That's
and then you could manipulate the probability to get more wishes. The probability to give you more wishes.
Okay. I like the answer. Like you just take out a piece of paper and just write everything down that you want, and then say, make everything on this paper come true. Like, but if I take that out of the stipulate, like make it so you can't do that, I would probably say something like, I wish I had indestructible bones. Because that would be awesome.
You'd be like Wolverine,
wishing
my
for
guy.
indestructible bones. Then I think you would be better off wishing for an indomitable body.
Indomitable body, yeah.
Like Superman. So
I would go.
Your bones,
that's
Superman would be better because like your bones might be invincible, but you aren't. You know what I mean? You could be like dissolved in acid or something. Yeah, his bones were invincible. They're not dissolving. But if you're like Superman, bro, like
Kryptonite is fictional, and if you became like Superman, like all of his abilities, you wouldn't have the kryptonite, you know?
Yeah. Your kryptonite would be probability. So I win.
Probability, man. Probability that he dies.
What's the probability?
5 minutes is 100%.
Yeah.
What?
Cool.
But I would give myself like a 300 IQ. I would give myself like wisdom with that IQ, and I would give myself, like you said, an indomitable body. That would be my 3 wishes.
But you didn't need wishes to do that. You could just be like probability, man. Just do it yourself.
But
Probability of me eating this apple and giving me an IQ of 1,000. Now 100%, you know?
But if you had like infinite wisdom, would that really be a good thing? Like, wouldn't you take out some fun in life and making mistakes if you
that's my thing too. Like
powerful and intelligent on everything?
I don't think it would change your personality, like, because people know things like that. Truth can hurt other people, right? But they keep them to themselves, or if their personality is different, then they'll spout it out. So it depends on who you are as a person first. I don't think adding anything onto that is really going to change who you are.
I mean, wisdom isn't knowing everything. It is being wise with what you do know.
Right. It's kind of like making the best decision all the time.
So it's kind of like, okay, I like the illustration. If you have knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
Right.
Makes sense.
I would like to say, if I had to wish something, probably an infinite amount of constitution. So I'd just be really hard to kill, but I'll still die from aging. So I can just walk for hundreds of miles and not eat for months on end. My body's still gonna be fine.
I see what you mean. That would be interesting. That'd be good. That's like a good balance.
With that idea, I could probably just sell like half my kidney, and my kidney would just grow back. Because it wouldn't matter how much of it.
So I mean, you're basically kind of like you're basically like Deadpool.
No, yeah, because
he wants to be Deadpool, guys.
Yeah, boys.
But Deadpool, like in the comics, Deadpool fell in love with death, and then
all of the comics he falls in love with death, not just one.
In the comics, he falls in love with death, and then he's like cursed so that he's immortal, so he can't.
No, it's the other way around. He was cursed.
He loved death. He was then cursed with immortality, which meant he couldn't go to death.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I thought it was the other way, where he basically experiments, got his regenerative abilities, and then fell in love with death.
Yeah.
I mean, he had his regenerative abilities, fell in love with death, but then, well, someone got jealous and
wasn't that
cursed him
Thanos?
with immortality. Yeah, Thanos.
Yeah, it was Thanos.
Thanos.
It was Thanos, because Thanos was jealous because the thing is, Thanos also loves death. That's the thing.
So Thanos is just a giant simp.
Yes. You realize.
I know.
He's come to the realization.
Killing half of all life specifically to get death hard. That is it.
Just so that
that was genuinely one of in one of the storylines. That was genuinely one of the reasons he was doing it, because he wanted to kill so many people that death would be pleased, but death barely cared.
Doesn't care about death.
No biggie.
Ironically.
Okay.
Or something that big, but yeah, basically. So yeah, just a little bit of a trolling,
I want to see what kind of human you are. Would you rather?
You're not. Would you rather? Human. You're an alien.
Would you rather throw away love or money? like you have love but you have no money, or you have a lot of money and you have no love. Which
usually
one?
usually you
I take the Fifth Amendment.
I plead the fifth.
you kind of have to have both, because if you have neither, if you only have one or the other, then
like,
you don't
let's
you won't
assume
ever
you have
it.
no money, you have very little, like you have enough money to sustain yourself,
Right.
but you have no disposable income, yourself and your loved ones,
Yeah,
but
that
you have
wouldn't be
no
any fun.
disposable income. Or you have all the disposable income, but you have nobody to share it with. Essentially.
But that's not even true.
For several reasons, especially for one person individual in
the
DC, I cannot say.
You cannot say what?
Fuck! Wait, what the fuck's happening?
Don't worry about it.
So essentially, if you're rich, people only love you for your money. So there's no true love. That's so sad.
No.
I think I'd still rather be rich.
You don't know whether they love you with money or. That's the problem.
What was the problem?
There could be someone who genuinely does love you, but the thing is, you are also like believing that that's not that they love you for your money, that you just push them away anyway.
You see, if I was rich, I would pretend that I'm poor, and make someone fall in love with me.
Act
Like,
broke to
I'm
stay
actually
rich.
rich. I'm actually rich.
There was actually someone who like. It's like there was a rich like soccer player or some sports.
But if you pretend to be too poor, you'll never find anybody.
don't like.
There was actually
so you got to be like moderately,
somebody,
like at least successful enough to take care of yourself. Like you have to say, like it have to be like believable, right?
You got to be self-sufficient. Like act
at the very least, yeah.
Have like millions in your bank account or like thousands in your bank account and like live in like a 1-bedroom apartment in the middle of nowhere. You know?
Yeah, no, there was.
I mean, if you had the money, why wouldn't you flex? You know?
Don't be arrogant. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying arrogant. I mean, like just like fulfilling your needs to the extent that they can be fulfilled, right? So not going overboard, not like throwing it away, but like, you know, as the choice of getting like something cheap that's gonna break or getting something that's gonna last a while, I'd most certainly pay for something that's actually gonna last. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just kind of a frugal way to think about wealth, right? Because you can either buy the same cheap thing a bunch of times every time it breaks, or if you just get something that's going to last a while, then you know it's actually cheaper in the long run if you think about it.
Actually, I found a random question on the internet just now.
Oh, that's great. We love random questions.
Okay, what is the strangest thing in your refrigerator?
Oh God.
Probably mold. Somewhere
that
hidden
doesn't
in there.
count. What is the strangest thing that's not like rot?
Oh, it's like an actual food.
Like actual food, but it's super strange, or not food, and it's super strange that it's in there. Like didn't it used to be food or something like that.
There's a humidity
a
humidity detector. I don't know. I don't get weird stuff in my fridge.
For legal reasons, I cannot say.
For legal reasons, I have a body in his refrigerator. In my, I have a body of water in my refrigerator. I mean, technically, you could say if you had a body in your refrigerator.
I think a better question would be, what's the weirdest thing you own? Like, what's the weirdest thing you have?
What is the weirdest thing you own? 35 children in my basement. I'm joking. That's
a
joke. No, that's a
joke.
Joking.
That's
I mean, okay, to be fair, it's not really weird so much as it is somewhat out of place. In the sense that, okay, so I spoke about buying a pen, fountain pen.
Mm-hmm.
These.
Oh.
Calligraphy dip pens, really old ones. So yeah, they're just kind of out of place in the sense that, you know, I've never done that. So.
Okay.
But I did come to learn they were previously my mother's or something. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Pretty odd thing I have, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I would have that would be the oddest. I actually don't know. I don't have anything like out of the ordinary. I don't think. I mean, I have an iPhone like 4S and a 5S and a 6S.
For success, yeah.
They're all garbage. Oh, I have like a Steam Link. Does anyone use like the original Steam Link anymore?
I think my dad has one, but I've never used it.
I actually wish I had a Steam
almost
Link
good for nothing.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I'd much rather have like a RPI or something. That'd be kind of sick.
Oh, okay. Do you know what I was actually looking into, because I wanted to get a... Oh, give me a second.
Bees sneeze.
I sneeze quickly.
Mm.
Yeah. So I wanted to get a controller because there's currently 3 games that if I had a controller, although they wouldn't be made any easier, playing the game would be infinitely easier. Specifically, it would be Dark Souls, Neo, and Devil May Cry 3. Because those games, when they were ported over to PC, although you can go into the menu and alter and edit the key bindings, all the instructions are always explained in controller terms. So you always have to go back and look at what it's bound to.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like emulating games.
That is pretty annoying. So yeah, having a controller would be infinitely nice. I even told my friend, hey guys, I'm not to give you guys any suggestions or anything, but if you want to buy me a birthday present this year, a controller would be nice.
You know? There are some ingenious ways around that. Like for emulating PSP games, a lot of the controls are still like based on the original system, and a lot of people don't have that. But you can actually use software to get and plug in a PSP to use the original console as a controller for the emulated game, which I think is kind of funny.
Oh yeah, no.
It's like kind of perfect.
That is kind of perfect. I mean, that's what some people did with the Wii remote. There was actually a thing you could do with the Wii remote, which not every... You could take the Wii remote, right? Because some people believe the Wii remote was actually had a emitter on the end, but it was actually a receiver. The remote was actually a receiver. For what was it called? An infrared sensor, right? And the bar you used to put on your TV used to emit 2 infrared light points, and that's how it would actually move the hand around on the screen. So what you could do is, if you made an infrared pen, which is actually fairly easy, and you use the controller sort of as a sensor, and you hooked up alongside a projector, you could actually make yourself a smart board out of that.
What's a smart board? Oh, you mean like you can like
an interactive whiteboard?
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is not fairly difficult to do. It's just like, not everyone knows that feature. It's kind of interesting. I was thinking of doing it at one point, but then I just got lazy and didn't do it.
I see.
So yeah. Ooh.
I was just gonna say, Double's really taking his time.
What do you mean Double's taking his time? Did he say he was on his way?
It looks like he was. No, he didn't. He's like on it. It says it's on his phone. He could have just like left it on somewhere. That happens a lot.
He probably did. So, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh well.
We have a lot of people here. A lot of interesting people here.
Yeah, it was chaotic.
Wait, guys. Real quick question.
Yeah.
Would you guys want to play League of Legends for tomorrow's stream?
No.
We'd have to set it up, and you'd have to teach us like everything about it, because I would never. I don't know the first thing, to be honest.
Look. I'll be honest. We shouldn't do that. But believe me, Joe. But believe me, Joe. People playing League who don't know how to play League is an actual, how do you say?
Category
genre of video, basically. In the sense of saying it, like that is a genre of video on its own. People playing League, but not knowing how to play League.
So what I'm saying is this could
So-
be good content.
Look, it could be wonderful content. I'm just saying it's not the best idea. You know?
Well, I haven't
So-
tried it though. I'm down to try it like once. I can't guarantee I'll like it, but I can give it a shot.
I'm all for trying any game at least once in your life. Just so long as you don't get addicted to League, I think we're good. You know, which shouldn't happen, all things considered.
Right.
So yeah, if you're down to try League, I will gladly play it with you.
Is
the
it
only
available on Steam or anything like that?
It's free. It's free. You have to, but you don't have to. But it does go through a separate launcher.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, because it's similar to Blizzard's games in a way, in the sense that it's free, but you have to run it through its own launcher because they have like proprietary. My English. Yeah, thank you. Proprietary security software for the online games.
Like an easy anti-cheat. Okay. Huh.
No,
Alright, cool.
I think it's easy or it's some other one, but yeah, something
Right.
like something like
The general idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looks like it's about that time. We've been going on for quite a
Aw.
while here, but I would
Dang.
like to officially conclude this episode of the podcast. You know, appreciate everyone for showing up. And one thing before we go, if you want to stay up to date with the latest episodes, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, follow, yada yada. You have any questions? Don't feel free to submit those as well. Thanks for tuning in. Happy listening, everybody. We can go ahead and commence the goodbyes at this point. Anything else you guys want to
Goodbye
say?
to you all. Goodbye to you all, and have a great day, evening, morning.
Don't eat
wherever
bugs.
You are.
That's right. Good
Shameless
morning,
plug-in.
good evening, and good night, everybody.
Don't eat bugs.
No,
Thank you.
eat the bugs.
Can't-
Protein.
you